Hey everyone, it's MK. Welcome back to MK Quilts and this week's installment of Tip of the Week. So this week we're going to be talking a little bit about file management. So we are computerized quilters, which means that we have digital designs, which means that we need to have a plan for their storage and to keep them organized. Now, one of the reasons why I chose to talk about this topic this week is because currently at the time of this video, which is April the 16th, 2019, I am having a sale on my QPI product, and that stands for Quilt Pattern Indexer. Now, file management and the use of Quilt Pattern Indexer very much go hand in hand. So what I would like to do this week is really quickly give you an idea about how I manage my patterns, my approach for where I save them and how, and a very little bit of information about QPI. There is already a handful of videos on the QPI site. That's quiltpatternindexer.com. And I've also done a couple of other YouTube videos showing you how I download patterns after I purchase them, how I go through some of those steps with QPI. So I don't really want to reinvent the wheel, but I do want to talk to you about file management because many of my students ask me about that when they catch me in some of my live in-person sessions. So let's start out really quickly with me taking you over to my tablet on my machine and talking to you a little bit about file management there. Then I plan to take you inside of a little bit of simulation, a little bit of QPI, and a little bit of File Manager just on my regular laptop to show you how I work with these files. All right, let's head on over to the machine and I'll just talk to you about a few things there. All right, so here we are at my tablet. Let's just look at our file folder structure from within ProStitcher. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on Design and I'm going to click on Open. Now, I have a flash drive in my system, and that's the last thing that I was working on was my D drive, which is my flash drive. I've got several things, folders, quilts that I had worked on. I actually have my large double wedding ring quilt on the frame right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and deselect the D drive so that you can see that I have a C drive, right? So that's my computers, my tablet's hard drive, and I have the D drive from my flash drive that I have inserted. Now I'm noticing that I have some files on the root level of my D drive, my flash drive. Normally I don't do that, but I must have just wanted to copy some things really quickly at some point and put them on the root level of my flash drive. So that's not a problem. It's my personal flash drive and it's fine for me to copy things there. So what I really want to talk to you today about is the C drive on our tablets. Now we all have one, right? That's the hard drive for our tablet. Now the folder that all of us have on our tablets is our C designs. That is where all of the designs are housed that come with the ProStitcher program. So most of us probably have pretty much all of these subdirectories, these folders, also on our tablet. Those are there for a reason. That's all computer technology, right? That's kind of Mr. MK's world. I don't really need to know about them. I don't really need to fuss with them because the one that we really are only ever dealing with is our C Designs library, okay? Unless Handy Quilter is instructing you to do something else with these folders, you should pretty much leave those alone, right? Let's go ahead and open up our C Designs library. Now, obviously, the C Designs house all of the designs that came to us from Handy Quilter with the program, right? All of those free patterns that came with our system. Now, one thing to note about the C Designs library, and this question comes up over and over again, especially from people that are just getting going with their simulation package. The C Designs library that is housed here on your tablet needs to be copied and moved over to your laptop or your other Windows device if you're going to use simulation on that other device. Just by way of downloading simulation onto your laptop, you're not getting the designs that came with the program. That is actually a safeguard against pirating and copying of those designs. Basically, you guys, anybody who owns ProStitcher has access to the designs file. Anybody who does not own ProStitcher, they can actually go to Handy Quilter's website, download the ProStitcher product right from the website, but they can't really use it. I mean, they could run it, but they don't have any designs at that point that came from Handy Quilter because they didn't buy the ProStitcher product. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a step that will help you to get the designs from this device over onto your other device. Now, the step that I'm going to show you is actually done from the file management system here on your tablet. I'm not going to do this step from within ProStitcher itself because it's not actually as easy to do it that way. What we're actually going to do is go into our file management system on your tablet. Now, most of what is on your tablet, you guys, is locked down pretty hard by Handy Quilter, and there's a very good reason for that. They don't want you in there messing with how this has been formatted or imaged from Handy Quilter. But we can go into the file folder area of our tablet and grab the C Designs library and copy it onto a flash drive so that we can take it over to our computer. Now, the next thing I just want to say is all of our tablets are a little bit different. So what I'm actually going to do on my tablet, I'm looking at an Acer 12 here on my Infinity. I'm going to slide in from the side of my tablet. So let me just do that again for you. I just took my finger off the very edge of my tablet and I just kind of slid in from the side. Now, some of you actually can get to your desktop, actually all of us, if we just reduce our ProStitcher. We have some things here on our desktop, and one of the things is actually the file manager, that little folder right there. We can get to it by doing that. Or we can do this little slide in from the side trick and go to the start menu. It's it's a very similar step, but the point of it is we're trying to get to our file management area. Okay, so one of these little yellow file folders, and I'm just going to go ahead and click on that. And what that does is bring up the file folder structure for my ProStitcher tablet. Okay, well, we need to go to the C Designs folder. So here is my hard drive on my tablet, the Acer C drive. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. There is that Designs library. Now, I'm just using my finger, which is probably getting in the way for you some. If you want to use a stylus of some sort, you can. But all I'm going to do with my finger, because I'm not using a mouse, normally when I'm in simulation, I like using a mouse. And although I could hook one up here at my tablet, I'm not going to. I'm just going to go ahead and click and hold that Designs library. That will open up this little window right here. And all I'm going to do is click on the Copy tab. So that just made a copy of the Designs folder. And I zoomed out a little bit so that you can see again that I have a flash drive inserted into my Infinity. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Now here is the file structure on my personal flash drive that I have in my Infinity. You can see if I click on the name file, I do have some file folders on this flash drive. I've got some designs, some things saved like we talked about at my root drive. of the D drive, and then here we go. I've got a whole ton of Pro Stitcher updates that have come out over the last several months. Okay, so I always keep copies of all of those updates that come out. But what I really want to do right now is I just want to copy the designs library onto this D drive. So all I'm going to do is click over here, and I'm going to click and hold somewhere over in this white area. And I'm sorry if you couldn't see that, but I was just over here on the side. I just did a click and hold. Again, that brought up my little window, and all I'm going to do is click on the paste button. Okay, so now it's taking the C Designs library from my tablet, and it's copying them over to my Infinity D drive, which is my personal flash drive. Okay, now this might take a few minutes because my stick is a little bit full at this point, and there's quite a few designs that Handy Quilter gives us. So I'm just going to stop the camera, and I'm going to come back to you when this process is finished. All right, there we go. All I did was take a copy from my C drive. Let me just click on it again. I copied the designs folder by just click and holding that folder and then hitting the copy button. Then I went over to my D drive and I did a click somewhere in the white area and I did a paste. Now, I've got quite a few file folders on this flash drive. I actually need to go ahead and clean this stick up a little bit. However, here is all of my personal folders and quilts that I've stitched out that I put on this flash drive. But right down here, do you see it? Right there. There is the designs library that I just copied over onto the stick. Now, just as a little side note, let's go ahead and close out of this, and let's go back to our Pro Stitcher. Now, at the Pro Stitcher, I've still got my flash drive inserted into the machine. So if I go under Design, Open, and I point myself at the D drive, down the way here, after all of those personal folders of mine, right there is the designs library. Okay, if I open that up, there are all the designs that, again, that Handy Quilter has given us with the Pro Stitcher product. So now, as it stands, I have a copy of my designs on the tablet itself and a copy on my flash drive. All I'm going to do now is walk over to my computer, and the rest of this video I will do from within my actual computer. We'll do some screen capture so that you can see this up close and personal, how I transfer that folder from the D drive over onto my laptop. All right, here we are at my laptop. So I'm in the file management area again on my laptop this time. Now for me, I have the file manager little file folder down here in my taskbar so that I can very easily click on that and it opens up my file folder structure from my laptop. Where I am currently pointed on my laptop is my C drive, okay? My laptop's hard drive. Over here you can see, again, I've got a few things on my laptop hard drive here at the top that are kind of personal folders of mine, things that I'm working on. Here's some of my sim folders that I use for tip of the week. Here's some of my folders that I use when I travel and teach. The other folders down here along the bottom are, again, folders that are pre-programmed into my laptop. Some of you might have some that are very similar to that. Some of you might have some different ones. But basically, we should all have a listing of folders that came standard with our computer. Now, one thing you're not seeing here right now is a designs folder. That's because I actually moved it out of the way. Just a little hint. That is my actual designs folder, but I wanted to pretend or simulate that I didn't have a designs folder on here. Now clearly I didn't want to delete my personal designs folder. I just kind of wanted to move it out of the way while I teach you this transfer method, okay? So when you go to your computer, you're not
likely going to have these designs here, unless of course you've done this step already. Okay, so here's my C drive. Here's my Infinity flash drive that I walked over from my machine, put it into my computer. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on it. Here is all of the folders. Now I did take a minute before I came back live with you to go ahead and clean up my flash drive a little bit. I moved some things off of the flash drive just so that it wasn't so full. All right, but here is the designs library that I copied from my tablet's hard drive. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on it. Then I'm going to right click and I'm going to hit copy. Okay, so that was from my flash drive. I'm going to go back over to my C drive, the root directory of my PC. I'm going to come over here into the white area and I'm just going to go ahead and right click and click on the paste button. Now again, this might take a little while because that's a rather large subdirectory. So I'm just going to wait and I'll meet you back here when the folder is done copying. All right, so it finished up. It just kind of automatically put the folder down here at the bottom. I'm just going to go back up here to the top of my file folder structure and I'm going to reorganize it by clicking that box right there once again, and then it puts everything into alphabetic order. Now I have my designs folder as it appeared on my tablet. Well, that's helpful because right here on my tablet, I've got my Pro Stitcher simulation product. So I can go ahead and open that right up and I can immediately begin working with my files that I just copied from my tablet. So if I come in, I go File Design, I do Open, I come down here under my C drive. This is now the C drive of my simulation product on my laptop. This is not my tablet. If I come down here, here's my designs folder that I just copied over, and here is all of the designs that came with the program. Now I'm going to do one quick thing. I'm going to go back to my file folder structure and I'm going to come onto my personal computer and I'm going to bring my file folder that I had moved out of the way. So here's my XXX designs. I just gave it a name temporarily to move it to the bottom of the list. I'm going to go ahead and move this folder back up into this position so that I can talk to you a little bit more about how I organize my folders, not only for the designs that came from Handy Quilter, but also for my personal designs which I purchase. All right, there we go. Now the C Designs folder that you're seeing is actually my designs folder, which includes all of the designs that I have purchased from various designers. And you're going to see that I have a lot of folders there. And actually it might not seem like that many folders, but inside of those folders is where I have several, and I mean several, other folders full of things that I have purchased. For example, here's a folder for Urban Elements and a whole bunch of things that I had purchased. Now I'm going to shift gears really quickly and talk to you about the Quilt Pattern Index program and how it is reading my laptop and looking for the designs that I have on my hard drive. All right, so here we are inside of Quilt Pattern Indexer. And right now it looks like the screen is blank. Obviously it is. But if we look over here into the file folder structure, you're going to see that the file folder structure from QPI looks basically like the file folder structure on my laptop's hard drive. Well, here's a hint. It looks like it because it is. Under the Quilt Pattern Indexer, all this program is doing, you guys, is it's pointing itself at the hard drive, which is where I have my designs stored. So if I just basically go under File, Settings, you're going to see that I have told my Quilt Pattern Indexer to look at my C Designs library. Now, one really important side note, when you're copying these designs to your computer, do not change the name of the directory. Now, I did that a few minutes ago just temporarily so that I could show you a step. But you really should not change the name of the directory because there is programming within ProStitcher itself that is looking for the designs in that location. Whether that be your tablet or whether that be your laptop, it's looking for C designs. Okay, back to Quilt Pattern Indexer. All I'm doing is telling my QPI product where to look on my computer so that it can see the designs. All right, so again, that was under File, Settings. You come over here. If you don't have See Designs on your screen, all you're going to do is click Add. You're going to point yourself at your C drive. You're going to scroll down until you see the Designs folder, and you're going to click OK. Now I don't have to do that because I had already done that, and my QPI is looking at my designs directory on my hard drive. Okay? Now, the last thing that I'm going to say about QPI, and then I'm going to ask you to go look at some of the other videos on the website, quiltpatternindexer.com, or my YouTube videos. But the last thing that I'm going to say about QPI, you guys, is that if you take some time and figure out what your plan is for your folders, it's going to save you a lot of time down the road just in the fact that you have taken some time to get yourself organized. I could leave all of these folders that I have on here. I could leave all of those folders just as they are. And all I would have to do is click on those folders to go ahead and see what I have purchased from the different designers. Now, I am taking some steps in my own personal studio with Quilt Pattern Indexer to do some consolidation work. So in my world, I don't need to have a folder for every single pattern that I've ever bought. All I really want to have are folders for the designers, and then within the designer, I am choosing to have a very few number of file folders and move all of my corresponding files from that designer into that folder. So as you can see, I'm not quite where I need to be with my organizational steps, but I'm getting there, okay? And one folder that I've been working on a lot is the Urban Elements folder. I buy a lot of pantos from Urban Elements. So you can see right now I just have within my Urban Elements folder, I have borders and I have pantos. And I still have quite a few folders here that I need to go through. And what I'm basically doing is grabbing the panto out of the folder and moving it into either the borders folder or the pantos folder. Now I'm not doing that from within QPI. I'm actually just doing that from within my file folder structure on my laptop. Okay, so QPI is, I'm not moving anything from within my QPI program. All my QPI program is doing is looking at my hard drive. Any file moving that I'm doing it from my actual file management program on my laptop. Okay? Paul and I are actually planning some sort of a webinar in the near future to talk a little bit more about file management, about data protection, about things like cloud backup storage. All of those things are right down Mr. MK's alley from his many years of experience in the IT field. But for now, I want you to take a look at your own computer, copy that C Designs folder over to your hard drive. Consider taking a look at QPI. Remember that QPI has a 14-day free trial period that you can download the program, you can work with it, you can play with it, you can get it looking at your designs that you have. You can start doing some keywording. I'm not going to talk about keywording tonight in this video, but I have some videos out there. It's a very powerful program in its simplicity. At its base level, all it's doing is looking at your C drive, looking for a folder that you have told it to look at, and then it is just able to display pretty pictures of what you own for your Pro Stitcher. Okay, you guys, that's all I got for you today. I know this ran a little bit long. File management is something that all of us need to focus on, but it's also something that can take a little while. It takes a little thought. And basically, as I tell all of my students, I'll tell you tonight, you need to have a plan and work the plan. Okay, you guys, hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. Thanks for all of your support. Thanks for your business. And until next time, from my studio to yours, happy quilting. Bye bye.